Yo, one, two, three. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the recap of the Olympic Rugby Men's Finals. Wow. My name is Gift Time Belu, and man, this one ended in the heart. Congratulations out to Fiji Rugby. First time back-to-back gold Rugby 7 Olympians. First time Fiji's ever had two Olympians, two Olympian gold medalists. The first time for Jerry Tuwai, the first Fijian to win two gold medals. I'm talking about we got history being made overall, back and forth and over, under, and all around. Like, man, this was awesome. Yo, final out, Fiji gold, New Zealand silver, Argentina bronze. And final placement puts it at Great Britain at 4th, South Africa at 5th, USA 6th, Australia 7th, Canada at 8th, Kenya 9th, Ireland 10th, Japan 11th, and of course Korea at 12th. What's up, Ty Tank? What's up, Colin Warner? Thank you guys for coming and checking this out just for your little bit of curiosity. Guys, I'm going to be able to just have a really great breakdown of what we just saw this morning. And, man, this was a lot of really intense games. Let's actually kick it off right away. Australia versus Canada. This was the first game, the 7th, 8th placement round. I know we always kind of put this into this position where it's like, man, there's nothing really going to happen here. No, this was a real game early on. Australia and Canada, they really came for it. I think we saw a difference than it was the first day, at 9 p.m., which would be the end of the last day for Japan. Canada really wanted out to play. Australia actually kicked it off right away. Nathan Lawson scoring off the try. And then you had a great return with Connor Bray taking it over the edge, tying it up. Early on, 2:32 remaining inside of it. It was really brilliant play by Canada. They were really pressing, really trying, but could start to see the sloppiness kick in. At the end of the half, Lachlan Anderson was able to get the score coming off with the long bottom pass, and boom, 12-7 halftime score. Australia up, and it just kind of just took over from there. We saw Nick Maloff being able to get the kick and recover the ball inside for the try. Boom, set up 19-7. Lucky Miller getting the offload underneath, middle of the field, shaking it up for 25 meters. And it was just 26-7. Australia actually got a yellow at the last, within the last 30 seconds. Almost Hirayama almost was able to get one in for the score, but Canada, no luck. Great effort by them to be able to try and close this one out. Canada really brought it, overmatched. Australia really showed out, and, you know, that's the way the book wrote it. Australia getting the 7th place position, and Canada finishing out at 8th. And then, of course, the match that we, have the most personal interest in, USA versus South Africa. This was the rematch of Pool C's final game for Pool C pool play. This one was it was going to be less of a mental game and more. This one was actually going to be who was going to be the better team. USA and South Africa, they both came out to play. South Africa kicked off, and look, it was a tough defensive battle from the get-go. South Africa did what the Blitzbach always do, but US trying to find space. Carlin Isles trying to find an edge, not able to get it. Early setup, and we saw actually just kind of a wear down where Justin Gould for South Africa was able to get their first try off of a low-key Joe Schroeder turnover. It was a defensive effort all the way through. Like, I'm going to call it what it is. This was a defensive effort. But big shout out, Stephen Tomasin coming back strong, coming with the broken tackle for 40-meter score off the Iosefo pass, tying it up, 7-7, almost going into half. But, man, errors again. Errors are always going to be the issue. You can have the best team in the world. If you can't keep the penalties low, it's going to always mess you up. Makata was able to take advantage of the errors that the U.S. was putting on. Ended up stretching it out around the corner, getting it in for the try. South Africa ended up taking it in 14-7. And this is one area where I have to say the refs were probably the poorest in this. While there were many errors by the U.S., we were getting calls that I don't think. One of the big ones was a high tackle call against the U.S. that actually helped set up this Makata pass, but this Makata score. But it also was followed by 2 missed high passes against Madison Hughes and another one. I forgot who the other player was. It was, this is where you go, you're questioning where the refereeing was going, what the ref is seeing, and how they're playing it out. But, you know, again, you can only play the game as sent towards you. Second half, again, it was a lot of wear down. The U.S. was just having trouble finding an edge. This is, got to give credit to, again, this South African defense. They just contained the U.S. in this one. It's neither here nor there. Kurt Arendse was able to take advantage, slip through, and go in for the short try. And we ended up ending this game off of a Stephen Gaines try for the score. Final score 28-7. South Africa taking the 5th place position. USA with 6th. A heartbreaker, to say the least. Obviously, the U.S. didn't want to wanted to come in with meddling. Stephen Tomasin said, in post-conference quotes, we came to medal or bust, and unfortunately, there was no meddling that happened. What's up, Bijan Malkaford? Thank you for coming and checking this out. Medal or bust, but you got to give it to these guys. They played their asses off. They really did it. And I know this is the nice thing to say, but no, it was true. The U.S. really played out. We did significantly better than we did in the last Olympics, and we're looking forward to seeing what the future holds. Obviously, we have a lot of guys, and I mentioned this in the last video over the semifinals review, but we have a lot of guys who are older who probably won't be coming back for the Olympics next year, and we're gonna have to start putting in a new young force. Shout out to Cody Melfi, the men's TikTok guru for rugby, right over there in compliment to Iona Mar, though actually probably the overall rugby TikTok guru of it all. But getting to see those young guys be able to play. Schroeder, I know he's 28. Still's got a little bit of time under his belt, so we might be able to see him for the next Olympics for sure if he's eligible. Question whether or not I've heard whether or not Ben Pinkelman would have made a significant difference. In my opinion, I don't think that he would have been a difference maker. I think he would have been a great asset. I think Joe Schroeder filled in a lot of roles that Pinkelman was able to do. Experience is always a plus. But I think this one was just a situation where, sometimes it's the chips fall where they may. South Africa is just in the same position. They're not a worse team for getting in 5th and 6th, but definitely were not able to take advantage of things that they typically would. And I think still the U.S. is in that, but I think we now have a system in process, which was huge. I think that's huge when it comes to this. Next game that we had, man. Argentina, Great Britain. Now, this was one that I said in the last one. I thought Argentina was going to come in very strong. Yo, what's up, TC? Thanks for popping through again. I thought this one was going to be a really rugged, dirty game that was not going to be favorable to Great Britain. But this game was actually a lot closer than given credit for. Great Britain really came strong. We got to give these two teams a lot of looks because these are young teams. These are young teams. Their top scorers were 21, 22, 23. Right off the bat, Great Britain was able to get a score by Ben Harris. Their blonde guy during the Great Britain USA match made the face of face that I'm going to forever meme and to something. He's going to get memed. I don't know why. I don't like him. But it's not personal. It's just because he's the opponent. That's it. But he's 21 years old. You know, he's got time. Able to get that Great Britain up 5-0. Bazan Valaz, who actually was in for, who actually took the replacement of Rovell, who had the red card during the South Africa-Argentina match. He was able to take the ball out the scrum, really quick play, skirting it up, getting the 40-meter run, tying it up 5-5. Now, the real star, I think, is probably the man of the match for the entire tournament. Hands down, Marcos Moneta, 21 years old for Argentina. Speedster, the awareness, my goodness. Like between Ignacio Menchi, another 22-year-old for Argentina, and Marcos Moneta, Argentina has a strong future in sevens. And this dude was able to juke in, cut people out. Yo, he literally juked so hard that he juked Dan Norton all the way to the other side. This was the sickest, leg onto the ground, cut back inside, cut it upfield, taking it in for another long try to make it 12-5 going into half, Argentina leading. And you talk about they were able to take advantage. It was Dan Norton and Ollie Lindsay that just went to the other side. This kid is dangerous. He's a guy who put the team on his back against South Africa when they were down 6 men to 7, and again 5 to 7 on personnel. But this Argentina team is way. They deserve this bronze. Even though Rovell was kind of a dick whenever he got his red card against South Africa. But this one, they are a team to watch. And I'm looking forward to seeing them through the World 7 series because whatever it is that they got going on, I thought they were just going to be a 15s team. They surpassed where they were last time, last Olympics, they barely made it into the quarterfinals and got knocked out pretty hard. But this time, they definitely earned it. Meritocracy came through all the way. Speaking of which, again, I talk about the speedsters, Marcos Moneta and Ignacio Mendy. Ignacio closed out this match, finding it up the middle, taking advantage, and final score of this game, Argentina 17 to Great Britain's 12. So much emotion. First bronze medal for Argentina sevens. First bronze medal in the Olympics for, I think, Argentina, actually, overall. So to be able to go home, and I think this is the interesting part about this one because of the pandemic. We know about what happens to us here in the States and in the respective countries of where you're at. But, Argentina's been facing a huge, huge recession. I mean, their inflation is really bad. A lot of these guys, and the announcers were mentioning it, they don't know if they're coming home to jobs. They don't know if what they're coming home to. So to be able to get this bronze medal and to be able to take it home and at least put some major smile for their countrymen and women that's the most. And especially against all odds. If you want to talk about a storybook finish, this is a storybook finish. You defeated a team that is historically a powerhouse, richest rugby union in the world. You took down a powerhouse team in South Africa, undermanned, and put it on your young guys to take it over the top to close out and get this emotional win. Everybody's crying. And Argentina clearly is an emotional team as is, but man, this one takes it over the top. So big shout out to them. And also, I'm glad they beat Great Britain. All right. I'm never going to forgive that 26-21. Never, never, never. And that was the final match. Fiji versus New Zealand. Man, again, this was a great finals tournament. This was a great finals. Well-matched teams. Love it. The battle for the South Pacific, the two neighbors, Southern Hemisphere rugby in full effect. I mean, everybody needs to just copy Southern Hemisphere rugby. It works. It works. Like, it works. If you have any level of athleticism, use it. You know, this works. Fiji, man. They are... Thank God Rugby Sevens got into it, because they would never get it. They would not have gotten any medals. People would not recognize them for how great of a country, how great of athletes they are, and just generally, you know, outside of, you know, just this island that's sitting down in the middle of the South Pacific. This puts it on them because, and then a lot of people don't realize, you know, Fiji's not the richest country in the world. It's very small. Very small, but they back-to-back were able to get gold. Like, not Fijian, but if you can't feel like how amazing that is to be able to see that occur, like the way they feel, like they bring an aura onto the field one way or another, and it is so dope to be able to see them get it. Now, at some point in time, I'm gonna need them to not keep getting gold, but again, I said this at the beginning, big shout out to Jerry Tuwai, first Fijian to get 2 golds, let alone 2 medals from the Olympics. First Fijian ever to get 2 medals in the Olympics. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. But to putting it on the shoulders, but let's talk about this game. Right off the bat, Mehdi Darren just closing out an amazing try. This guy was was scoring all day, taking advantage of stolen balls up the middle 5. Repeat it again, getting it around the edge, boom, up 12-0 quickly. New Zealand doesn't quit. Scott Curry is a person that needs to be watched. I don't remember seeing him during the 7th circuit, so I didn't get a lot of insight on him prior to going into this game, but he is an absolute beast of an athlete. I thought Tim Mickelson was going to be the star of the show, and I think if you take it overall, I think he was probably more impactful on a minute-to-minute basis than maybe Scott Curry, but Scott Curry played a lot. He played a lot in this game and led this team around. Tim Mickelson came off the bench a bunch. I'm expecting that we're going to see this guy, but Scott Curry outran Fiji for about 40 meters to get this game 12-5 middle of the first half. This first half was intense. Then we got Wanakolo. This guy has been doing this all tournament long. It's like he turns on his sonic rings, and once he gets the ball in hand and you see him cut the edge, he can't be stopped. You can try and tackle him. He threw off a tackle off of his leg, burned everyone down the sideline for another 40-meter score, taking Fiji up 19-5. Brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play. Like, this guy is all face, all legs. Like, he's got legs like Barry Sanders with the same speed, but he runs like not Earl Campbell. A little bit like Earl Campbell. I mean, I'm talking football terms. He runs like Derrick Henry, all right? This man runs like Derrick Henry, all right? From the just running throughout the edge, speed it up, you're done. It's done. You can't touch him. And then you got to give it up to New Zealand. They don't quit. New Zealand does not quit at all. Sion Malia broke 2 Fijian tackles to end the half. 2 of them hanging off the edge, literally spun off one. One's grabbing off the shoulders. The other one's grabbing the back of the shirt and just dragging them through, going through in for the score, bringing it to 19-12, Fiji leading at halftime. But again, you know, this is still Fiji, all right? They brought in their heavy hitter, Tuivasa, all right? Tuivasa, the guy that the announcer said was rugby's Mike Tyson. This dude's built like a tank, comes in to just crush people, and he does his job right off the bat. I think he actually was a little bit of a liability in the semifinals versus Argentina because he's not really great with the hands consistently. He does drop a lot of balls, but he is effective in creating and sucking in defenders. And this dude was able to take a ball out the edge, drop it off of a really great phase plays. Once he's there, especially within 10 meters, you're not stopping him. Getting it in, taking it up 24-12. And then to finally close out this game, you know, Fiji closes it out with a penalty kick for the score, 27-12. Back-to-back goals. Yo, I wish there was confetti that was able to fly, but, you know, it's not beautiful. You get to see, you know, this on the medal round, the IOC executive board member, Fijian guy, and, you know, it's beautiful. Feel bad for silver because New Zealand definitely was disappointed. It's definitely disappointing to get the loss. I think it's even worse because New Zealand has both been unable to compete in the Rugby World Cup in 2019 and then subsequently unable to do it again in this Olympics. You know, being the best team in the world has such high expectations, so coming in second is definitely the disappointment. Argentina was definitely hella proud for being bronze. But this was a hell of a tournament. Hell of a tournament. You can't say anything else. And I'm going to say it again. The tournament man of the match, Marcus Moneta, followed up by Jerry Tuai. Both of them put teams on their back, definitely led the way. In key moments, in absolute key moments, were able to take a handle on this one. I'm probably going to put a different video about it a little bit more later, but you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was amazing. My sleep schedule is all jacked up, so I'm ready for what comes next, which is going to be the women's tournament coming up today. Today, starting at 7 p.m. Central. Guys, it's about to get real. USA women have a chance to medal. New Zealand women have a chance to medal. Canada women have a chance to medal. Australia women have a chance to medal. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be a real battle. So, guys, yo, JPHD, thank you for coming into this. Guys, this is Gift Time at Bailey here on the Gift Time Rugby Network. I'm going to see you guys with the women's side. Cheers.